What's up, everybody? What's up, and welcome back to On the Warpath. Back from the bye, Sanchez 405 with you as always. If you're new to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notifications anytime there's new content posted. And as always, like, comment, share this video out, because you know what we do here. We talk about the Washington Commanders. And we thought about this, had this lavish idea last week, but life just got in the way to do a bye-week blitz. I'm going to do it. But thankfully for my guest today, who really needs no introduction. I mean, he's pretty much goated himself here as the play-by-play voice for everybody on YouTube and in our community as well. So y'all know who I'm talking about. We're talking about Tim. So we're going to bring him on. We got an array of topics to talk about, from the bye week to the NFL. Who's the MVP? Who's the MVP of the Commanders so far in the season? But without further delay, I bring in the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Sia. Tim.
What's up, guys? How's it going, Corey?
What's up? Hey, thank you for being flexible with your schedule. Thank you for coming on here. Because you know we had this plan last week, had some situations go on in the background, but thankfully we were able to get together. Never do this during the final week of classes at work. It's just weird because they have so many things going on. But thankfully it was a bye week, right? Shout out to Killer Clown. Will Diggs up in the house. Justo up in the house. We better win on Sunday, says Will Diggs. We better. We should have won 2 weeks ago, so that's where we're going to get diving into it. 7-5-1 are the Washington Commanders, and if you had told us this in October that this was possible, Jairus was a man. Roger would have been in the back of his work truck, in the front of his work truck, just talking about the offense and this paper thin defense, and there's no physicality and everything. But here we are. Mm-hmm. Here we are, Tim. Carson Wentz, not the starting quarterback, broke his finger on Thursday night. What in the world, man? Why do we do this? Why do we do this to ourselves?
I don't. Yeah, it's. And I was saying at the beginning of the year nobody else saw that 4-game win streak we had last season coming. So I'm like, I'm not giving up on the season. I'm going to be here every Sunday. But of course, I would be lying if I said I didn't. I said the season was over. I wanted Ron Rivera gone. I hated it. And I was also against, I'm sure we'll talk more about this, but I was against the Heineke lovers of, I don't want to put Heineke in. He's not going to do anything for us. Just go and throw Howe in the game. But Heineke magic, here we are, 5-1-1 with him. And some people would say despite him, but whatever, here we are, and we're right in the mix of the playoffs. And I think 1 game away, and we're in, honestly.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I said this was the weirdest thing. And I said we're going to get to the point in the season where you look back and it's like, oh, you should have beat Detroit at Detroit. You shouldn't have, and the Tennessee Titans and stuff like that. It's looking back and saying, well, we could be 9-3-1 right now.
10 in the fourth.
Yeah, the Vikings, that one.
Yeah.
The Giants gave us opportunities. They didn't want that game just as much as we continue to fight back in that game.
Yep.
So I mean, there's plenty of opportunities to have your own destiny in your fate, but your own destiny in your hand. But we know we never ever do. This team, it seems like it's immune from doing the simple things. It's always got to be, hey, let's go on the side road. Let's not take the smooth, even path. No. Let's go in the woods a little bit. Let's get lost. Let somebody get hurt. Somebody's going to get dysentery. We do our own Oregon Trail here in Ashburn. But,
even the different coaching staffs, just to add to your point, Code Red game.
Okay.
Found a way to make the playoffs there. We won 7 straight with RG3 to make the playoffs in 2012. We 7-9 getting our way in with Ron Rivera. we definitely do not take the standard path to go anywhere. And it's Good old Washington fans.
Yeah. Who? So didn't give up on Ron Rivera, thank goodness. Jack Del Rio finally got his stuff right.
Mhm.
I credit the turnaround to this season on the defensive side of the ball. As much as people say Taylor Heineke, there is one situation that I think changed everything, and it changed the mood. It changed the aggressiveness of this defense.
Third?
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Bill Jackson 3 Sticks. They don't even call him Bill Jackson, Billy Jackson.
At first I was like, who's Bill?
Yeah, Bill Jackson. Yeah, I call him Bill. Exactly, because we didn't know. Hey, he don't deserve to be called William. But when Bill Jackson.
We didn't even get a pick back for him. Isn't that amazing? We had to swap.
Thank God. You know what? Thank God. I don't care. I don't care. Like, people will sit there and make fun of us because of that. Yeah. I don't give a damn. Let's get rid of this dude. He's like, well, I had to pull myself out. I had a bad hip and everything. And Ron and them were like, well, no, he wasn't really injured. It was just like his thing and what was going on. And you know, they even said in the press box in the Titans game, they said nobody came in and said anything about the injury. So there's a mixed message there. You know, he talked about being more of a man corner. Mm-hmm. Hell, this team still plays. Is playing a lot of man, especially with St. Juice right now. Mm-hmm. I think that was where the season turned around, because if you look at it since then, it's been one loss and a tie. Other than that, it's been straight W's. Since we lost the W, we just keep on gaining W's. Although the man stole money. Let's be let's be real about it. So I ask you this: where was your turnaround at the season? What am I looking at it kind of superficially, like Corey? Maybe you gotta.
It's a great point, because if you go back to the Lions game, right, is a good example of William Jackson just did not understand the zone match concept, and he's just leaving Amon-Ra St. Brown. You know, the guy that had, I think, like 800-yard games in a row or something like that. And he's just leaving him wide open on 3rd and 5, and it ends up being a 50-yard situation. And Ron even said, he didn't say William Jackson. He goes, it's one guy that's not in position, and all of a sudden we let out loose. What do they call the? They call the big plays something specific. I can't remember now.
The money plays, or
I'm gonna forget it. But anyway, the explosives. That's what he says. They gave up explosives, and so it is a great point. I do think the change to quarterback, though, did have something to do with it as well, and we can get more into that. But I understand your point completely. And one other one, just to throw in the mix, is Brian Robinson.
Yes.
Brian Robinson's
Luke Cage.
return, and him being able to get healthy, him being able to get healthy has been huge for us, because I think our offensive line has been blocking for 1 yard a carry, if I'm being kind. And he's somehow getting nearly 4 yards a carry, and I feel like it's all after contact. So the young rookie has been absolutely massive, and that's another thing that a lot of people were making fun of Ron for. Well, we don't have Brian Robinson. I'm like, why is our season hinging on a rookie running back? Why is that a thing? Well, here we are. He's been tremendous in his young rookie year.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt about it. Like I said, you know, and I may have said something in the Philadelphia game to say, like, bullets couldn't stop this guy. You think that y'all's defense is? And, you know, I mean, to the point of it, I mean, and that I think that kind of shows you the mentality of this team, right? Mm-hmm. The fact that they don't lie down. Like Brian Robinson had every excuse, and everybody would be like, hey, we get it. The guy got shot. He's a rookie. He should sit out the season. No, that's not him. And he like, you got to think about it too. This was Brian Robinson's first time in his life living outside the state of Alabama. He was born and raised in Tuscaloosa, went to college there. Then he goes out here, first time out at home, not at home. That happens to him. And he had every reason in the world to lay down. He didn't. Yeah. And he's been a catalyst for this team, and offensively wise. And you know, at first it was like, God, why do they keep on forcing him? Give it to Gibby. Give it to Gibby. I'm like, give it to Gibby. But we see, especially as the seasons went on, he's gotten better. He's gotten better. You give him, you feed him. He's hard to tackle. Mm-hmm. These guys don't like tackling him on defense, like the Falcons game.
Yeah.
Seems like after every play, he got better. We're going to talk about that number 4 car in a minute here. But let's get to some of these comments.
Yeah, no.
Let's see. Asan up in the house. 2 of the funniest guys that speak on this team. This is true. I will put myself up against Tim. I will put myself up all the time against Tim because we got too many jokes.
I do find Corey's humor the best.
Yeah.
Throughout the community.
Bro, hey.
The one-liners he comes up with out of his back pocket, I don't know where they come from, but
rest in peace, Mike Leach. I think, like I said, Mike Leach is my spirit animal. Cause I could just come up with it off the top of my head. But Asan said 7-5-1. Never thought we'd be a winning team starting 1-4. I thought it was all over. No doubt about it. Brontosaurus up in here. What's up? He says, Corey, Chief Commander, great to see you too, Tim. What's up, Redskin 007? Marcus and his Louisville Cardinals. I didn't know y'all were playing in the Fenway Bowl against Cincinnati. Tell the old coach we said hi, though. How's your basketball team doing too, brother? I know not doing good. But I told you, Marcus, remember, if my team beats Lenore Ryan, my school beats Lenore Ryan, you're going to hear it from me because we're in the same conference with them. And let's see, 5 more days to Carrie Underwood and attempts to rhyme command. All she's going to say is Washington and Giants in the primetime fight. I'd be
nailed it. You said it just like Carrie.
I listened to it too much. God, yeah, get me on there. Get me on there. It'd be like Medea doing Sunday Night Football.
Medea. Oh my gosh. Medea Sunday Night Football.
Oh God. We went off the rails anyway. Been winding them Giants fans up over She Got Sports Channel. The Commanders better win. I'm getting roasted. Hey, yeah, don't mess with Lauren now. Lauren, friend of the channel. You can't mess with her too.
Hey,
she's a good Giants
their fan. Chat if we do lose, like Rogue Shadow after we beat the Eagles. I had a dude that was talking smack for 3-4 weeks, and he has gone MIA ever since halftime of that game. I have yet to see him since then.
You know what, Eagles fans, and we'll talk about them Eagles fans too. I had to talk to my boy Bird Game. And it's like, well, we let y'all win the game. You know, we just it was the fact that we lost the game. Y'all didn't necessarily win the game. I was like, we ran 81 offensive plays. Where in the what cinnamon toast booger sugar are you like sipping on right now?
Yeah, 49 carries in your mouth.
Yeah, like just like what?
40 minutes of time of possession. We were given the game. Thank you.
Exactly. We didn't take the damn thing away from you. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah. We should have ran 100 plays, but Scott Turner likes to throw in the red zone.
But that game just came down to one missed call. That's it, of course, too.
Face mask.
Yeah. That was it. One missed call.
Oh, let's not talk about that egregious offensive pass interference where Jahan Dotson was literally thrown into the defender. So, but we won't talk about that, Tim. That's in the past. Anyway.
Or Benjamin St. Just looking for the football, and the guy that's standing 2 yards away does not throw the flag, but the guy 25 yards away, that's a flag. No, it wasn't. But it was.
It is what it is. Hey, it's a W.
It was, but yes, we got the dub.
Yeah, let's shout out Terry McLaurin and Fabian Monroe. Can't wait to see that again. I'm gonna have to see who the officials are and that one. Let's see here. Why ain't nobody talking about how the Lions had a packed stadium full of their own fans on Sunday? Because nobody was watching the Giants. We were too busy watching the Eagles. Nobody was watching the Lions and the Vikings. Mm-hmm. We were too busy watching the Eagles and the Giants. Yeah. Sorry about that. But that's why. But Detroit doing the thing. Detroit is doing the thing.
Well, we were too busy until they switched to the Cowboys-Texans game in the DC.
Oh gosh. Shoot, let's see.
The start of the fourth quarter, all of a sudden, I was calling a different game than I was on the play-by-play.
Let's see here. What's up? Roger Smith said he is in here. We got him up in here. Let's see here. Oh, may the Lord, everyone says I'm done talking about Chase Young. To be honest, don't even cite me no more. Well, thank goodness we weren't talking about Chase Young yet either. So, hey, not all Eagles fans. I stood tall.
Yes, you did, Jan. Jan has been there for sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right, then. Carry on with five. No, I'm not. I can't do that. You can't put me up in them hills. I'd break. You don't want to see it. It'd be like Fred Flintstone all over. I'd be the black Fred Flintstone up here. Monroe's gonna have a field day looking for Terry as he cooks them. Yeah, but we talk about it. Terry McLaurin. I think Terry McLaurin, outside of the Heineke Hopers, is probably the most happiest person in DC now that Taylor Heineke has taken the reins. You know, I always say with Paulie every Sunday, I say he's always good for one. He's always good for one turnover. But if we can survive that turnover, we're good. He hasn't made multiple turnovers too many times this season. That's key. But you can tell that he has been really the orchestrator of this turnaround as a complete unit for the team. I kind of point to the William Jackson thing as more of the turnaround for the defense, because defense started spinning around a little bit quicker than the offense did in that situation. But talk to us about that the Taylor Heineke hype, the hivers, as we like to say. Do you have hives for Heineke now, Tim? Have you bought your number 4 jersey in black?
Yeah, I did not buy the number 4 jersey, and I am one of the I don't know how rare it is or how common. Maybe it's the silent majority, whatever that they talk about, or whatever it is. I'm one that says Heineke's the best we have now. Yeah. But I'm not a Heineke. We're rolling into next year with Heineke. I'm just riding this wave that Heineke has provided. And one of the biggest things for me, of course, is the heart and the competitiveness that he brings that Carson Wentz just did not have, right? Carson Wentz does not convert that 4-4 or 4th and 4. Do you know how I know? It was a 4th and 4 against the Eagles the first time we played, and he took a 9-yard sack. Heineke buys time in the pocket, throws a Mahomes-like throw. Of course, it didn't look as strong coming out of his arm, but off his sidearm, flipping it down for like 25 yards. And Heineke, that's what Heineke brings, right? He's not going to bring the 300, 350, 400-yard games that a lot of Heineke haters are all on, right? That they want to go back to Wentz, and they just say, well, Carson has the bigger arm. We can actually open up the offense. And it's like, you're trading away, or you're trading for a strong arm, giving up mobility in the pocket, a clutch gene, right? He was big in the Colts comeback victory. He was big in the Packers game where he completed passes on 3rd down where we needed him the most. Same thing in the Eagles game. The Giants game, he had tied it up. And then we took the ball out of his hands. Then we went back to the other stuff that wasn't working as well. Like, the dude is ready to ball for us right now, play. We need some yards. We're just going to run a wide receiver screen now? That's what, and we go get nothing on it? Give it to the guy that's been actually doing it for us down the stretch. Whereas if you go to Wentz, he throws a pick on the 2-yard line. And 2 plays before that, or each of the 2 plays before that, he had an open receiver that he didn't find, right? Or there's other things I'm sure that you can go down the list. But Carson Wentz, unfortunately, did not work. And I don't know if you remember this. I said that was best case scenario for Washington. So I'm coming from somebody that loved the Wentz trade. I'm not somebody that like, oh, I hated Wentz then, now I hate Wentz now, and I'm just a Wentz hater. I loved the trade. Maybe it was I didn't want to give up a second potential, but whatever. That was neither here nor there. I'm like, this guy has MVP caliber potential. Let's see if we get it. If not, awesome. The contract, we can just let him go after the season, cost free there, and we move forward, right? So Heineke, in my opinion, right now is our best chance to continue to win. And unless Heineke goes down and then maybe Wentz can all of a sudden get that dog in him and like the team rallies behind because now they have to, right? If Ron Rivera benches Heineke, now there's a split in the locker room.
Exactly.
Potentially, right? But if he gets hurt, you know, knock on wood that he doesn't or whatever, or maybe knock on wood that he does. I don't know. I don't play for injuries, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Right.
And if then all of a sudden he could come in, he brings that Heineke heart that it says, you know what, he's been great for us. Thank you for being the starter in this time to get me back in contention, and now maybe I can make a career out of this. And he can thank Heineke later for making it interesting down the stretch. So I don't know. There's scenarios, but at this point, I don't know if you even asked this question, but here we are. I'm not making the move to Wentz today.
Oh no, I wouldn't dare ask that question because kind of like you, I was on the side. I didn't love the trade, but I was like, he's got a big arm, and that's what that's what you need, a guy that can make all the throws when necessary. And I've been on record. I've said this before. The difference between Heineke and Wentz that is so perfect, but it's such an oxymoron. Wentz thinks, Heineke doesn't. And I need that out of my quarterback. I need a quarterback that's not thinking, is reading and reacting to the situation. Wentz, we could see that's why he took 8 sacks against 9 sacks against Philadelphia.
Yep.
It's why he was getting hit. It's the same reason why he fumbled the ball down there against Tennessee. It was just something flat about the whole team throughout those first 6 games. And granted, if we really want to talk about it, if Chicago gets that ball into the end zone, that's a loss right there. And maybe this doesn't happen at all. And the snowball effect of it is that we're sitting here like we're still sitting here talking about the draft. But no, I don't think that I'm with you. I'm not a Heineke hater. I'm a Heineke truther. Like that's what I know what he is. I know what his limitations are. He's my quarterback. I don't want him to fail. I'm okay with winning ugly as opposed to losing sexy. It's the same thing. And you've been in these Redskin groups on Facebook and everything. Let me take you back to 2018 when we had a guy named Alex Smith that was 6-3, and people are like, well, he's only throwing for 150 yards. They winning ball games. Yeah. There's something about the dude that just they're winning ball games. Whether it's in spite of him, the numbers will come. But people can't get in the hit. They were like, we need a new quarterback. We need a new quarterback. Like, guys, no, we really don't. Maybe if we gave him a legitimate weapon that wasn't Morris or whatever the heck his name
Alfred
was.
Morris.
Well, not Alfred Morris. I'm thinking
of Maurice Harris.
Maurice Harris. That's what I'm thinking. Mo Harris. Yeah. Mo Harris. And who else were the wide receivers that year? It was
Jamison
not
Crowder. Was he still here?
Crowder was here. It was Crowder's last year.
Yeah.
Josh
Doxson. Yep.
Was here. Like, I mean.
Yeah, because Doxson. No, that was a different year. Never mind. Ignore me. But yeah, no, Doxson was definitely in that conversation. Yeah, it was not.
They had to get Michael Floyd, remember? He was a free agent.
Yes,
Michael Floyd was a free agent.
Cardinals. Yeah.
Yeah, and let me see now. You got me intrigued now. I got to figure out who we had on there. Adrian Peterson, of course, he was the workhorse that year. Your leading
Reed.
Yeah, Jordan Reed got hurt.
Yeah.
But yeah, he played in 13 games, and he was
still. Pryor was gone.
Yeah, that was a 1-year experiment.
Yeah.
But Jordan Reed, who only played in 13 games, started 8 of them, led the team in receiving yards with 558 yards. And then the second lead receiver was your wide receiver, Josh Doxson, 532 yards. And nobody had more than 2 receiving touchdowns that year for the Burgundy Gold. So that's like, I mean, these are through the first. It's the whole 16 games.
Paul Richardson may have been in there too, but he got hurt probably early
on.
Right?
Yeah. That's what. I got to take a minute because we mentioned Paul Richardson. We mentioned Paul Richardson. Curtis Samuel. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. I disrespected you in that way.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mr. Samuel. I'm for real. But I am. I'll be like Ruben Studdard up here. You know, I'll do it on Saturday night. Oh, sorry.
Jeez. Corey's about to start an album out here, man. He's Carrie Underwood. Now he's this.
Waiting all season to apologize to Curtis. Let's see here. Let's go back to throw in some of these comments here.
Yeah.
Like Heineke this year, another quarterback in the draft. Heineke again 2023, Sammy in 2024. Let's see here. Asan says the Jahan Dotson hype is crazy. I know he's been good, could possibly be offensive rookie. I don't know now, but he didn't get hurt. But people are saying he's better than Terry. He's not better than Terry, but so we won't even address that because he's not better than Terry. How are your feelings now with Jahan Dotson? Because I know you weren't a big fan of him, especially the time when they drafted him and everything. We're here in December now. What are your thoughts?
I think there's definitely more jury to be out there for Jahan, but I don't, it sucks because it's one of those things where I never hated Jahan, and I didn't want to hate Jahan. I didn't like him at pick 16. I have a bias against wide receivers in the first round in general, unless they're 6'4", 4'3", like a Julio Jones or or a Calvin Johnson type. But that's my bias, and I still don't know if he's necessarily worth the 16th overall pick anyway. But I'm pleased with what we've gotten out of him so far as a very talented wide receiver. He can get open. He's got some great hands. He's been a great red zone threat for us. I think he has the most touchdowns in the red zone. Actually, I think he has the most touchdowns, period, through the air for us right now. And then a lot of those coming in red zones situations. And I'm completely fine with Jahan Dotson being on the team. But I can go back to the draft, but I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm like, I thought the young man he's brought some electricity to the offense that probably has been needed. Maybe he's pushed some people in the right direction. I think who's probably benefited more than anybody from Jahan Dotson has been Curtis Samuel, right? Because he's been able to become this. This is what I loved about Curtis Samuel this year, and this is probably what they were looking for last year. He's not always going to make the big plays, but he's going to make the plays you need when you go to him.
Third down.
Exactly. Those third downs, those short yardage plays. I mean, he picked, I keep on bringing up that pick play at Philadelphia. That was a first down by Curtis Samuel if they kept that flag in the pocket. So he's always there, and you can play.
He caught the 4th and 4.
Yep. Bingo, Bob. Yep. And he scored the first touchdown of the Commanders era too. I think was that him or was that Gibson? I think Curtis.
Right.
It was Curtis.
Yeah. He caught like 7 out of the first 9 passes or something like.
And then it went away from him.
Yeah, we quit giving it to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, you won't find me hating on Jahan Dotson anymore. I guess that's a good step in the right direction in that sense. But I could get into the nuances of why I don't think he should have been picked 16. But it's pointless nowadays. He's here, and I think he's a good player for us, and that's a good thing.
Let's flip to the other side of the ball. First round pick from last year, Jamin Davis. Young man's improved. I mean, I think he's still got a ways to go, but it looks like it's finally starting to click for him. And I mean, he misses. He still misses some plays, and he takes plays off, but I think he's starting it. You can see that light bulb going on, especially late in the season now. It's starting to click for him. He's getting those tackles. Just talk about what you've seen out of Jamin Davis throughout these first 13 games.
Yeah, and Jamin Davis is still, in my opinion, not the middle linebacker we need. He's not a quarterback of the defense. John Bostic is better there, in my opinion, as the quote-unquote quarterback of the defense. Because when I watch the film and he's calling things out, Jamin Davis, gets back to being stuck in mud. He's a 4.3 speed kind of a dude, extreme athlete, and yet he will not get to the hole because he's thinking too much. When he is able to just go outside on his outside linebacker position, in my opinion, or at least outside in the 4-3, not necessarily on the line like a TJ Watt or something, but when he is just able to use that athleticism and be that freak athlete we know he can be, he can play with the best of them in the outside linebacker position, and we've seen that quite often. I think, is he leading the team in tackles now, or is Cole Holcomb still the leader of tackles? He could be all over the place in that position. I still think we need a middle linebacker, the quote-unquote coach of the defense, but and I knew this coming out of the draft that he was going to be a bit of a project, watching him in Kentucky, but
Right.
it's fine. He's got very high potential, and he's definitely stepped up from his rookie year. I do agree with that 100%.
Yeah, he is the leading tackler. Him,
Yeah.
Cam Curl, and then Cole Holcomb there. And then also another guy who has played really well, fourth leading tackler on the team. I think he's actually the leading interceptor on the team, Derek Force. My
He's been
guy.
awesome.
My guy. Somebody find Jarris. I want to find. I got to call. I got to call Jarris because when he was trashing my boy last year. I got the tapes and everything. Defo.
He's been a pleasant surprise for me too. It's awesome.
But you know what it is, Tim?
Mm-hmm.
I credit Ron Rivera and I credit this staff because that's the knock that people have given to them. Like they can't develop talent. I have my boy Don. Don is it not this Don? My other guy Don Wilson's in it. They can't develop talent. They should have got this. They can't do. DC Bay, one of my buddies. They can't develop talent. The game's passing by. They can develop talent, but it's like I always say, it's like oatmeal, right? Just because it's got instant on the package does not mean it's going to happen right there. You still got to give it a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
They're using all 3 minutes of it before they eat the oatmeal. Do have a super chat here to Heineke Chief #1, my boy Don Glover. So I got that feeling again, like with the Eagles game. He called that Eagles game a week ahead of time. I won't give him that. Heineke's going to throw for 350 yards. Can't explain it, but my Heineke senses are going off again. Thank you for the $5 super chat. But here, I don't think that's going to happen. But his best game passing wise was against the Giants last year, where he threw for over 300 something. I think close to 400 yards in that game on Thursday Night Football. Granted, that was in September. It was a little bit warmer. Ball slinging out. This is going to be December. Probably going to be in the mid 40s on Sunday. So, I mean, we can't really, I don't know. But if they do, I'm just going to be like, Don, I'm starting to think Don Glover might be Taylor Heineke in disguise. It's just all, but I appreciate that. We appreciate that super chat, brother.
If that's the case, I want some of those Jordans, but anyway.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I'll ask you this too. In the situation we kind of wrap the defensive line has played well. Has played beyond well. Mm-hmm. Excellent. You've gotten it from your starters and your top tier guys. So Sweat, Payne, and Allen. But you're also getting it for guys like Ridgeway, James Smith Williams, Casey Toohill. Mm-hmm. All these guys have been eating on that defensive line. Really, the only weakness that we've seen was when the Payne and Allen were getting triple teamed by the Atlanta Falcons a couple weeks ago. That was the only thing. But they finally broke down and got it. Mm-hmm. This line, obviously, we need to pay Deron. They need to pay Deron Payne. Mm-hmm. But just talk about this line, man. Talk about this defensive line.
Jonathan Allen is a stud, isn't he?
He is?
Yeah, how many times is he just splitting the defense and blowing up a run play? And then Deron Payne is the guy that's able to get after the passer a little bit for us, but still stop the run. Toohill's been full of hustle while he's on this team, which is nice. Ridgeway's a great run defender, being able to hold his ground, a big, heavy dude, throw a guy off, and then suplex a running back when we need him.
But, was that a penalty? Did you think that was a penalty?
I don't know, man. I guess technically it's but I thought it was fine. I did not like the fact that he got a penalty thrown. And I apparently, I never actually verified this, but I did hear apparently Montez Sweat, Jonathan Allen, and Deron Payne said if he gets fined, we're paying it.
Yeah.
For Ridgeway kind of thing. So that seems like a great group. They've got great camaraderie. Even F.A. Obata has been getting into it a little bit, number 97.
Yes, I forgot about F.A. Yep.
F.A. Obata is in there as well. So they're clearly, we've drafted them to be, and they clearly are the biggest strength of this football team on our D-line. And they've made it very hard for other teams to run against us. And I think really mainly those big runs from Atlanta were more on our linebackers, but neither here nor there. Yeah, when you get triple teamed and you're Jonathan Allen, somebody help! Take
that, Chase Young. Take that, Chase Young. Now, Tim,
Yeah.
I got to talk to you. The Dr. Pig here is kind of exposing you as a body shamer, a wide receiver. Now, you would not make fun of Mr. Feed the Children, Devontae Smith, will you? Like for like 6
I never
cents a
said
day.
fed the children, but I definitely said it. He is light in the britches. That's
Oh,
for sure.
yeah, Mr. Feed for 6 cents a day, you can feed this show. I mean, I've seen Philly cheesesteaks bigger than that boy. So he just like, yeah. Like the ball is bigger than him, and I'm just like, this is like, bro,
He's
come
proven
on,
me
man.
wrong every day, and good for Devontae. I hated him as a first-round pick, and I just absolutely never would I have drafted a Devontae Smith in the first round. There's 0.0 chance, and that's what he's talking about with me, quote unquote, body shaming. No way am I drafting a dude that's 165 pounds, soaking wet in the first round. Absolutely not.
I don't even think he's that much. Is it really that much?
Well, he is 6'1". He's bigger. He's taller than you think, and height adds that weight.
He's got his vertical. My God.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody was hopping up against everybody was hopping up against Kendall Fuller. And can we talk about Kendall Fuller too? What is it? He is the most streakiest son of a gun I have ever seen in my life. Like, he will have, and I kept on telling people, I said, yeah, I hear you. Yeah, Kendall's getting cooked. Just wait till the end of the season. He's gonna catch fire again. And damn it, that's what happened. He caught fire again.
Yeah.
He catches fire. Like, my God, what is it about Kendall Fuller? Like, I don't know how he can't put like 2 halves of a season together, but here we are now.
Yeah, and we always hate the Jack Del Rio, let's play 12 yards off the football on 3rd and 6. But Kendall Fuller's been proving him right in that sense this year, and he's been doing a great job in that zone. He's almost Josh Norman-esque as far as the more cerebral corner rather than athletic corner, right? Which is what Ron Rivera's system entails, which William Jackson was the exact opposite. No football IQ. It's all, let me just get my hands on somebody and I'm strong enough and fast enough to keep up with them. That's not what we call. Kendall Fuller's the opposite on that front. But yeah, I don't know why sometimes he just looks like he cannot cover anyone to save his life. And then other times it's like, oh, pick 6. Thanks. I appreciate that. Oh, another intercept. Okay. All right. Thanks, Kendall. Appreciate
volleyball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Left hand up for Duran, right?
Yeah, there you go. That's what we do.
Baby.
Shout out to Big 57 and DJ O Goody. They'll be performing on Sunday, so they'll be there.
I don't think I listened to the B57, but I did listen to the Goody on your channel.
I
liked him. He's
good dude,
cool, chill dude. Yeah,
excellent dudes. I look forward to hopefully.
He made me like the song a little bit better because I'm definitely a guy that's a little bit what's the right way to say this? Stuck in the past or whatever. Where I still love my "Hail to the Redskins" song. That's why I play it every Sunday whenever we score and we win. And
there you go.
It was kind of hard for me to really start to gravitate to the new song because I'm like, no, I love my song. But listening to him talk and where he's coming from, they're just big fans, great dudes, and so I'm happy that he's a guy that's really changed the team in a lot of ways with this random song, which apparently was, I think he said on your show that "Left Hand Up" was just a throwaway.
Yeah, it's just a round. They said they needed something in there. They said throw the left hand up. I was like, this is hot, dude. They get like,
yeah, good for him.
Hey, I play it after every single win. After every single win. Let's see. Who am I a homer for, Bruce? You got to tell me. I didn't know I was a homer for anybody because I don't have a college team. So I definitely not a homer for Kendall Fuller. Roger brings up a good point. Wes Schweitzer needs to be center moving forward until next year. Nick Martins gets ran over, pushed around. He's not stout enough, just in his opinion. Do you think that is the right move? Schweitzer now healthy. He's got a game back under his belt pretty much. We saw Nick Martin, who was the starting center at Dallas, but he had just got thrown into the situation. So maybe he's learned anything. Going into a big game Sunday night, who do you think should be the center for the Burgundy and Gold?
personally, well, is Cosme playing?
I don't know. Let's see that. Well, they haven't practiced yet, so that injury report won't be out until tomorrow.
Gotcha. Well, it depends on if Cosme's playing, because if Cosme's not playing, then I want Switzer at right guard, because I don't. Unless Sadiq's back, I don't know. What is Sadiq's situation? Our offensive line is such a musical chairs. I don't know what is going on, but I don't have a strong opinion one way or the other right now with Nick Martin. I know I hate Tyler Larson, so I'm glad he's out, and we can't get worse than Larson, in my opinion. If we get worse,
yes, you can.
Impressive.
Oh, yes, you can get worse than you can get worse than Larson.
Which one is
he
it?
wears number 60 for us?
Keith Ismail?
No, Nick Martin. You get worse than him. He's worse
I don't have
than
a strong
Larson.
opinion one way or the other. For some reason, I don't know. When I watch the film, I haven't seen, like, he doesn't stuck out to me as somebody that's been horrible for us, but so I don't. You guys could be completely right. For some reason, I'm just drawing a blank on my. As I said, I just don't have strong opinions. I'm not sitting here thinking like, no, Nick Martin's good, and I'm not sitting here saying, oh, Nick Martin is absolutely trash. You guys could be 100% correct on that. If Cosme's playing, then I have no problem with Wes starting at center, at right guard, because I know they're not going to sit Andrew Norwell, who's another guy that I absolutely disgusting. Left guard.
Are you talking about Norwell? You talking about the Norwell? Yeah, Norwell on.
Norwell sounds like a compliment. Like he's a wall. You can't get by him. He's not a wall. Unless you're saying he's stationary. Then he's a Norwell.
He's not stationary. It's like I've seen Norwell on ice for 13 weeks in a row, and that's all he does is just all in skates. I'm like, how?
I'm talking about just he has no speed to get to the outside.
No, no speed.
It's horrible.
No speed. His footwork is terrible, especially when in pass blocking. Like, bro, it's not. It's not very good how this guy got to be an All-Pro. I know that was years ago, but still, how he was even voted there. And then in Bizarro world, see, this is what happened. This is why old folks, you all need to go to Florida. Old alien people need to go to Florida because look at what Brandon Sheriff did. The man started every game for Jacksonville this year.
Shocking.
You go to Florida, you get. It's just weird. It's freaking things happening in Florida.
Washington, and that's.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
Just get out of Washington, and your career will go north.
True. You ain't like, yeah. Look, I can't argue with that on there. Steve asked this question. Well, he says Lamar for QB1. It's not going to happen.
No,
I think he'll end up in Baltimore still.
Yeah. No way they let him walk.
No, if they do, they'll be fools.
Yeah,
they'd be fools. Lamar's not going anywhere. We had better chance. Yeah.
See, I do love Lamar. I feel like if he is used properly, he could be the best weapon in football. And I think Greg Roman is horrible. And but I don't like paying one guy all that much money anyway. So let's say they do just completely let him go on the open market for some crazy reason. I still am not somebody that would want to throw $50 million, $55 million on the open market at a single player, strapless in cap, and you have to
Arizona.
Arizona. Yeah. Arizona, Green Bay, and most once they get that huge payday, they don't win. The only one that keeps winning is Tom Brady, and that's because he takes pay cuts. Or even Matt Stafford was only like a $20 million cap hit when they made the move for him last year. Right? Like, that's massive when you can get that kind of quarterback at that value. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think, and we kind of learned this lesson even with the Carson Wentz thing, and we're not even going to get the blunt of it. We just got it this year with the guarantee. But after next year, you can just cut them and ride off into the sun. Just imagine these other teams and the fact that I always find this foolish that Baltimore. It may be smart on Lamar's part. They let Arizona reset the market at quarterbacks with Kyler Murray, who's done absolutely nothing. Like, I mean, nothing. in any way. He didn't show up for that playoff game. You have more justification to give Taylor Heineke that money than Kyler Murray. I mean, maybe that might be. I might be kind of exaggerating a little bit.
You're 100% are, but I understand
right.
your point.
I'm like,
the problem with Kyler is he can't play a full season. He can't stay healthy enough because he's so small and tiny. But when he's on, the kid is incredible.
Yoda. I mean, I wish he would stop being like Yoda of the Sith and actually be Yoda of the Jedi, right? Like I'm like, play ball, shut up, you must. That's just all you gotta do right there. So it's and then you got old Kringleberry out there who's just like, I need to watch I used to call him Frankenberry for the longest time, but I like that cereal, so I won't do that to Abdullah up in the house. He said, Corey, support the Chokies. We on the come up. No, y'all not. Nobody wants to go to Virginia Tech anymore, buddy. Y'all haven't been relevant in 15 years. Ask Justin Fuente. Hey, how's the locker rooms at ODU? That's what I'll ask you. Oh, that's right. Y'all didn't come away with anything. They stole the game from you, and they stole your stuff out of the locker room.
Ouch.
Oh, gosh. Let's see here. Put Carson Wentz at center. Dude is probably our best.
All because of that one block. All because of that. Was it against Chicago? He came out and laid that block on the outside. Yes. Dr. Pig's the GOAT.
I think West is a better run blocker. That's what pisses me off about Rivera. I mean, West was hurt for the longest time though too.
Was he talking about Norwell on that second comment?
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah.
Oh, Norwell. Gosh, let's see here. LOL. He's playing for the Jags, one of the worst franchises in NFL history. Of course, he's starting every game. Oh, there you go. He's healthy though. What's up, Austin? I think this offseason we trade for Derek. Nope. Don't want him. Don't want Derek. Sailed. Yeah, I'm not. Nope.
I had a crazy trade like 2 years ago that I wanted to do for Carr. And it would have been. So it was when Deshaun Watson was potentially on the move before all the stuff came out. And it would have been a 3-team trade. We trade 2 firsts, right? Then they will use those 2 firsts and trade 4 firsts, so 2 other ones of theirs, for Deshaun Watson. Watson goes to Las Vegas, and then we get Derek Carr in 2 seconds. So that's essentially, if you were the Raiders, before, just think about it this way. If you were the Raiders, before all of the harassment stuff came out, would you have traded Derek Carr 2 firsts and 2 seconds for Deshaun Watson?
Derek Carr, 2 firsts, 2 seconds.
For Watson?
No.
Even before the harassment stuff?
Maybe before the harassment stuff.
Yeah, that's what
we would get. We would get what? Would we get Watson? We'd get Watson, correct?
No, we would get Carr.
Oh no, hell no.
We would get Carr and 2 seconds back for 2 firsts.
No.
But this was 2 years ago. I'm not doing it now. But this was 2 years ago, and that's what the trade would have been.
I've never been a big Derek Carr fan. I thought Derek Carr is a lot like Matt Stafford to me. They're good quarterbacks, but they need teams to win in spite of them. And I think we saw that last year with and people always bring up these analytics about Derek Carr. He's got the worst defensive billing of any starting quarterback in the NFL. I'm like, yeah, I get that, but he's on the offense. He's gotten money. He was at one time. He was the highest paid quarterback. Him and Matt Stafford were the top 2 highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL. Up until then, neither one of them had won a division title at that time. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, and you can sit here and say, yeah, well, the teams are bad. Jim Caldwell had that team going in Detroit. I could give a little bit more to Matt Stafford than I could with Derek Carr, but it is what it is. It's a moot point now.
It is a moot point completely.
Yeah. Let's see here. Gus Bus says, I think we could do a tag and trade for Deron Payne, get the latter first round pick from Houston or Detroit. That could help us with interior defensive linemen.
Just pay Deron. If you're gonna draft a lineman, just pay him.
Yep. Yeah. I think you got to pay him at this point. And if they can get him on the free agency market, like you're talking about two teams, one team that's probably going to need a quarterback, so they're not really worried about they may even be on their third head coach. The way old man Lovey's doing, they may give Lovey another year, but who's to say that they don't go, because they're going to probably have to draft a quarterback. And this is why I think Indianapolis kind of screwed up, right? They won too many games. They're not going to get a pick of the. They're going to be getting Will Levis. That's what's going to be. That's who they're going to be getting. So get your mayonnaise and your coffee ready, Indianapolis, because that's exactly who you're going to be getting is Will Levis, because those guys are that ain't going to work out. But we kind of look at the landscape of the NFL, and you and I kind of had this conversation earlier before we got on here. Before we go on the landscape, who's your MVP for the Burgundy and Gold this year so far? And y'all in the questions also asked it.
Burgundy and Gold MVP. So overall MVP. That's a great question. And you told me this before the show, and I did zero thinking about it. And I'm going to go
that's what good conversations do, Tim.
Yes.
You just don't think about them.
And I'm going to go... There's a couple of guys in my head. I'm just going to go with Jonathan Allen. I think Jonathan Allen has been tremendous, and he's been consistent, the most consistent player probably on the entire football team. Mm-hmm. And he's our leader. He's so important to us in so many ways, and I love me Jonathan Allen so much. So I'm going to go Jay Allen.
I'm going to go Deron Payne.
Oh, you're gonna.
I'm gonna go Deron Payne, which I like Jonathan Allen too. So I don't think you go wrong. But I think they play so well off of each other, and I think that they are best for each other in the long run. Because when they're both out there, like when have you ever seen two teammates getting triple teamed? Two teammates on the same exact play getting triple teamed.
Yeah.
You don't see that, Tim. And either way, like I think John Allen is a monster. Deron Payne is a monster. I think you can't go wrong with either one of them. I think Deron Payne has proven that he is over whatever the bull crap the media tried to make out what happened last year on Sunday Night Football. He's over that. Brothers going to get – they played together in college. Brothers going to get in fights. They're going to get mad at each other, and then they're going to get over it. So, and he had an off season where he came in and has been a professional. He might not be here next year, but I think he's done everything to make a case if he wants to be here and the price is right that you pay this man. So I would call him my MVP. Biggest surprise, I'll ask you that too, since the MVP category was kind of a little hollow there.
You're good. I think biggest surprise has to be Derek Forrest, right?
Yeah.
Like that has to be Defoe, where I did not see that coming at all, and he's played very well. He's extremely highly rated on the PFF, which take it or leave it, but he's had a ton of turnovers for us. He's all over the place. He's got that great athleticism, and he's really stepped up from year 1 to year 2. So I would have to go Defoe.
I like that one. Biggest disappointment.
Biggest disappointment, I think, had to be Wentz.
Damn it.
it had to be Carson Wentz.
That's what I was going to say.
Another one. All right, fine. Just to be different, my biggest disappointment is Andrew Norwell. Unbelievably bad. Or Trey Turner. Our two guard signings to replace one of the best duos arguably in football last year with Sheriff and Flowers. They were tremendous last year. Replace those with these two has been disgusting, and I hate every minute. So just to be different than Carson Wentz, I'll go. My two starting guards to me have been below the floor level. It's horrible.
Yeah, I don't see how
Okay.
you. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah,
I'm awake.
your phone didn't even like the guards either. Um,
Yep.
I guess the biggest disappointment for me, I would say the tight end position.
The tight end position. It had a
Just
lot of hype.
potential, yeah, the hype that never really, and it. I don't think the tight end position is bad. I just think it didn't live up to the hype.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know that, some folks believe Logan is washed. I don't think that. I think he's just getting his bearings back, and we're seeing that he is kind of getting his bearings back. Now, Taylor's targeting him a little bit more. He is coming up with the ball. I think that the Cole Turner situation, everybody was like, "Oh, this guy's going to be it. This guy's going to be it." And we know what John Bates is. John Bates, he's my guy, but he's a blocker. He's not a receiver. One of the better blocking tight ends in the league for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that just the evolution, kind of the stagnation of that position, and that a lot of that has to do with injury and the lack of development thereof. So
I did not like Bates.
I know you didn't. I know.
And I did not like Cole Turner coming out. So
I wanted James Mitchell. So
to me, I hate the idea of having a passing tight end and a blocking tight end. I hate it. Because we used to do the same thing, except we didn't have a blocking tight end. But remember Jay Gruden? How many times did we hear, number 67 is reported eligible? Run play behind number 67. Almost guaranteed every single time, right? And it's because Jordan Reed couldn't freaking block. Yeah. Jordan Reed was great as a pass catcher. So I didn't like our tight end spot, so I can't be, quote-unquote, disappointed in it. But I do see where you're coming from as far as the hype for our tight end room. I mean, Cole Turner, it was reported every day at practice during training camp. Another red zone touchdown. Another red zone touchdown. And Carson Wentz, Cole Turner is really becoming great connection. Another red zone touchdown. And yeah, over and over and over and over and over again, you kept hearing that. So that's a good pick for at least the hype that was coming in.
Quinn Waters defending Carson Wentz had 650 passing yards, 7 touchdowns through the first 2 games. Wentz wasn't our only problem. Running game, O-line, defense were all playing significantly worse. It's fair. That's a fair point.
And then he had 3 touchdowns and 3 picks in the next 4 games.
Yeah.
As he was standing as a statue. Here's another comparison real quick to the Heineke thing. Great comment, though. Here's a play that most of you will remember, but it goes down as a stat sheet as an incomplete pass. And we end up scoring on this drive is when the ball is snapped over Taylor Heineke's head against the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
He somehow goes back, retrieves it, gets outside the pocket, and throws it across the line of scrimmage.
That doesn't happen.
If that's Wentz, we'd be lucky if he jumped on it.
Mm-hmm.
And all he would have done is jump on it, and it would have been a 20-yard loss, and we wouldn't have scored a touchdown on that drive, and we probably don't beat the Eagles. And it's such a huge play that, on the stat sheet, incomplete pass. But he somehow did not take a penalty. It's nuts. It's awesome. So, but yeah, there's so many things that Heineke brings. I can go on and on. But
I mean, we forget how that game started, right? How the game started. The sack fumble. 3 plays later, Eagles punch it in. And it's just like, and everybody, oh God, we're gonna get blown out of this game. I'm like, y'all, calm the hell down. It's 1 quarter. It's 1 play in the first quarter. Chill. And Heineke, that's one of the credits that you have to give to Heineke too, is that he's covered up some of the deficiencies on this offensive line.
100%.
Like and it's the most frustrating thing with him though. He's tried to be more of a pocket passer. I'm like, Taylor, sometimes you just got to tuck it and go. I think there's so many times I've seen on 2nd and 3rd downs where he's had a lane and he can pick up the first down and he's just like, I'm going to throw it. I'm like, bro, you don't have to do that. You're quicker than you think you are. Like, you're not elite. You don't have elite speed, but your legs are dangerous in space. Use them. Now he's got to learn how to slide like passes. He needs to know where the sticks are and where the line is, because they actually caught up with him earlier this season. So I think it was against Green Bay too. I think he slid like short of the line once again. Maybe it's just something with the Packers, I reckon. So
and that's the one that Ron Rivera challenged, right?
I think so, yeah,
because it was clearly only a 9-yard gain. Yeah, I remember being mad at Ron for that.
Was that was that the Vikings game?
That may have been the Vikings game.
That was the Vikings game. That's exactly what it was.
I don't actually. I really don't remember who it was against, but I know the play.
Yeah. I'm just like, run, dude. Just run. Don't think about it. Just go ahead and run. Go into the landscape of the NFL now. We take a look at it, and I'm going to share this screen with us. The party. We'll take a look at the party picture. And y'all are like, Corey, what in the ham sandwich is the part? There you go. That's it. I don't like to use that word just yet, but
I got you.
I am superstitious.
All right.
But there you go. Let's take a look at the party picture here. So this is with it starting. Everything started today, and Armani Rogers is on IR. I think somebody may have answered that in the comments already. But we take a look at this, and we look at our Washington Commanders. We sat down at the bye week outside the playoff pictures. Kicked one foot up on the ottoman, then kicked the second foot up. And now we look at it in the 6th seed, going to San Francisco, and everything ended today, which would be interesting because next week they play the 49ers on a short week, which I don't have a problem with that because you're coming off a bye week, so you had time to actually prep for the Giants. And see, I think that's another thing, even before we get into looking at this playoff picture. I just said it, damn it.
Party picture.
The party picture, yeah. But you're playing the Giants back-to-back weeks, so it's an advantage. So you're already breaking down that tape of the Giants. You could have put that all together during the bye week and looked and did some advanced scouting on the 49ers. Get ready for them. I know you're going to play them on Saturday as opposed to a Sunday night. You're going to travel across country on Christmas Eve, whatever. But I still give Washington the advantage in that situation because you're coming off a bye week. You're a little fresh. So knock on wood, hopefully there's no major injuries. It might take you a little bit of time. You don't have as much time to heal as you would, but I like it. I like it in the sense that they had an opportunity, and it's the only reason why is because you're playing the Giants. The bye week is sandwiched in between the Giants. I don't know. What do you think about that, Tim?
We should definitely be good favorites against the Giants. I think we were the better team that day. That, you hate to blame the refs, but I feel like if the refs were anywhere competent, it would have been a different result, right? And it is what it is, and I think we should definitely beat the Giants. And will we beat the Niners? Will Purdy come back down to earth is a big question, or they're still a really, really well-coached team. D'Amico Ryan has that defense as a top-notch. Obviously, I don't know if I necessarily agree with the entire, because if Ron Rivera and the coaching staff were smart, you don't look past the Giants.
Right, exactly.
And so I don't know how much of that advantage actually gets put in place when you actually start. I don't think they can possibly think we can just look past the Giants at this point. And then they have a situation where you have they basically have a baby bye week, right? They play on Thursday. And so I think they will have the advantage of that game. I think we should be underdogs in that game, but I think we can compete with anybody right now.
Yeah.
We're not dead in the water to anybody that we play against. We already beat the number one team in the entire league. We did that. So step up and we do our same. If we do our job, we can beat anybody, and we need to do that.
Yeah. And kind of clarifying what I was saying, I'm not looking past the Giants. I'm saying that you're kind of dual working in between them because you already have the tape of the Giants. Like I said, that sandwich is more of an advantage for us, especially going that game, because maybe you don't have to do as much prep because it's still fresh in your mind. More that's more kind of I was looking.
I see what you're saying, and is it completely out to lunch. Maybe not. It's going to be. I'm just trying to put myself in Ron Rivera's shoes. Do I really, quote unquote, look past the Giants here
absolutely,
and actually start putting on some San Francisco tape to try to get ahead of the game? Maybe on like Thursday of last week in the bye week or something, or Friday of last week. Maybe I watch a couple hours of San Francisco film or something, but how much of an advantage is that compared to them getting off on Thursday? It's interesting, but I think we should be able to compete with anybody. And I do agree that this bye week came at the perfect time. You're going right into a 4-game stretch. 3 of them, I believe, are at home. San Francisco's the only away game. We are primed where we should be the ones in the playoffs rather than in the hunt or whatever. We're not on the back foot, where the Giants are definitely on the back foot. They got the Eagles again. They have the Colts, and they have some other team. Us, and then one other team that's pretty darn good. And I'm drawing a blank. Was it the Vikings? I think they have the Vikings still.
Let's see here. I think they do. You said the Giants there. Giants have
the Vikings the week after us. Then they have the Colts, and then they have the Eagles again. So they're going to be really tough. Where we have Niners, which is tough. Browns is a question mark, and then of course the other one, Cowboys, which that might be a game where they sit. So we'll see.
Yeah. Shout out to Trucking with A. I followed both of you guys. Let's go watch them. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the super chat. And then we've got another one in the house. Our guys, my guys from Command This. Hey, y'all better be up there on Sunday, or we're going to have some problems. Merry bye week and happy party seating. What's up, Tim? I feel much better about this Giants game. DJ will get his 79 yards rushing again. HTTC. Steve, what's up, bro? Shout out to Steve and the boys there, Dev and Phil at Command This. But yeah, looking at it right now, the playoffs seeding has us at San Francisco. So interestingly enough, Dallas at Tampa Bay, and then the Giants are at Minnesota with that 7-2 seed. Philadelphia waiting in the wings, no pun intended there, on the following week in the division round. So, I mean, do you see any changes in this picture? Do you think that
go ahead.
Do you think somebody else sneaks in here?
I am not sleeping on the Lions anymore. Their schedule is actually pretty soft, and they could easily find their way to 9 wins. The Giants are going to struggle to get to 9. They really are. Or us are going to struggle. Whoever, this is where I was saying this, I alluded to it earlier, whoever wins this game makes the playoffs.
Yeah, I believe
in my opinion. Right? Because now you have the tiebreaker over this. You have the tie, which helps break ties, if you will, if you have the same amount of wins. Right? You have the one in the tie column. And then you'll have the edge over the team you just beat. Both teams' schedules are tough down the stretch, but I think that whoever wins this game gets into the playoffs, even if they don't win another game at 8-1.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a huge and massive game, but I do think that the Lions could sneak in if they continue to stay hot. I do respect Dan Campbell a lot of where he's coming from and how he has that team playing for him down the stretch right now. And his team has been void of talent for a while. They're starting to try to build it. I do not like Goff, and somehow they're still winning with him. And the offenses looked really, really good. So I think they have a better shot than I do the Seahawks, because I think the Seahawks are going to lose this week. That would put them all the way down to 7-7. Is Geno for real or not? And their defense is not great. I do think Seattle is reeling. But if the Lions get to 9 wins,
they're in.
It's going to be the Giants have to pray the Eagles sit their starters in the last week. Or us. We have to pray that we somehow beat the Browns with the Watson, and then we have to upset the Cowboys at the end, or upset the Niners or something. Like if we lose this game, we are sitting in a bad way. Same thing with the Giants.
Yeah, and the only thing that I question about Detroit's schedule, the last 3 out of 4 are on the road. Last 3 out of 4 are on the road.
Is their
This
home record this year like crazy good? Is that where they're
I
winning all
think
their
that
games?
I think their home record is pretty decent this year. Let's take a look at Detroit. And as you have us, and you had me thinking here. Let's see. Their first win at home came against us.
Yep.
They beat the Packers at home. Well, yeah, most of they only have 2 road wins
That's
at
the Bears and the
Chicago,
Giants.
at the Giants. But other than that, they've won. They beat Minnesota, and really that Minnesota game first time around was close. Also, they've had a lot of miss. Look at some of these games though, Tim. 3 points against the Eagles. They beat us by 9. 4 points, which they had the lead against Minnesota. 3 points against Seattle. Right there. That Dallas game, they were close in that game for a while. That score is not indicative of how close that game was. And then they lost to a pretty good Miami team at home also. So, there's a lot of missed opportunities that they kind of left. There's a lot of meat they left out on the bone
they
there.
let Bills score at the last second on Thanksgiving, the last drive to take the lead back to win.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're heavily competing. Dan Campbell is a guy that wears his heart on his sleeve, and he knows how to play some football or coach some football. And the Lions are definitely somebody that could sneak in. I would love to see an all NFC East in the playoffs, which would be hilarious considering just 2 years ago we were all
NFC
below 500.
least, yeah.
And then we would be starting to talk about, will we see an all NFC East divisional round? That would be wild.
That would be insane. Oh my god!
Because look at it, it's kind of funny. And somebody else made a video, a short, or whatever YouTube video. It was some random person. I don't even know who it was. But basically, it's the NFC East versus the best of the rest of the NFC has to offer, and then the Eagles, of course, sitting at the top of the situation. We could have an all NFC East divisional round, which would just be, because I would give everybody a chance. Right? I guess we would have the least chance just because of who we're going against. I think the Giants may have a little bit better chance of beating the Vikings because I don't know how well we match up with San Francisco. We'll find out on week 16. But yeah, anyway, it's interesting.
Yeah, I think. And Roger says the best team in the league is the 49ers. We beat the second best team in the NFC.
So you're telling me right now, Roger, Eagles play Niners are favorite. I disagree.
I mean, and it kind of leads into our conversation that I was going to ask you earlier. In the playoffs, it's usually about who really has the best quarterback in the situation. And if you're looking at it from top to bottom, it's probably Jalen Hurts in the East, in the NFC. It's Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, maybe in that tier. Tom Brady, just the way he's played, but you can't really count him out. But I'm just talking about Tom Brady this year and what the Bucs are this year. 4, and then Heineke, Jones, Purdy, probably in that order. Looking right now, if this picture is supposed to stay the same.
Yeah, but to your point okay, it's a fair point. Quarterbacks definitely play a huge part in the playoffs, but kind of what you're alluding to right now, nobody has a killer quarterback.
No.
Nobody does. So San Francisco basically has the best
team
all around, and they may have the worst quarterback technically, if you even think he's the worst. Maybe you don't even think he's the worst with how he's playing. He's looked strong. He looked strong the other night. What did we watch against Tampa? I was actually quite impressed. Facing blitzes, they were trying to put pressure on the young guy. He was getting the ball out quick, making accurate throws. I don't remember if he threw an interception or not, but overall, I thought he played a really great game. And if he continues to do that, where we know that Shanahan is going to put his young quarterback in the best possible situation, does the same thing over and over again with no matter who his quarterback is, and the Niners are a great team. I would definitely put them as number 2. Or I think there's a definite argument, I should say, for number 2, but over Minnesota. But the way the Eagles have played, Hurts has played that system to perfection. Brown and Smith are a top-notch duo at wide receiver. Are they number 1? That's a debate you could have, but they're up there. And that defense plays lights out. They have a great defensive line. They're a really, really great football team, top to bottom. So,
Yeah.
And that offensive line can compete with San Francisco's offensive line. I could go on, but you can go ahead, Corey.
Yeah, no, I think you made a good point there. And, you kind of look at Minnesota. And the one thing about Minnesota has been they lose to teams down the stretch that they're not supposed to. And if that is the case, San Francisco still can get in that argument. They're only one game out against from getting that record. I really want to getting that 2 seed. I want to see if they were to somehow finish with the same record. Let's say let's just do this right.
I think it would go to conference record. It would go to conference record. So what's your conference record?
Let me see. Let's just say they beat us. I'll say the Giants somehow surprisingly beat them. It would flip. Let's say we beat them. So just down the stretch. So then Minnesota would have to make up some ground at Green Bay. I mean, yeah, they should be able to win that one. San Francisco at the Raiders, you think that would be a win? That changes that 12-4. Chicago, let's say the Vikings win that, and then Arizona is at San Francisco. Let's give that to them. So 13, record. 13-4. They finished with the same record. San Francisco went. It would be the team. So would be the 2 seed. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
So there's still a shot there, and kind of backing up what Roger says right there. You've got good numbers there. Before I let you go here, who's your MVP?
Jalen
Hurts.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts is MVP. Mahomes had a competitive argument for a while, but then they just lost to Cincinnati, and now they're at 10-3. They're not even number 1 in their conference. And Jalen Hurts' numbers can compete with anybody just standing alone. Mm-hmm. And then you put the fact that they're 12-1 and potentially going to be 16-1. I don't know how many more games they'll lose, if any. And yeah, Jalen Hurts, he's on the best team, but he's also he's, as I said, you watch him play, I think he's playing that system to perfection. And I respect what he's doing. I think he's been a very good quarterback this year.
He's been good. I'll give him credit. He's been doing good. I think he's better than what most thought he was going to do. I thought, there was going to be an improvement there of him. I still think at the end of the day, I think my homeboy is still going to be the MVP. Just because somehow, some way, last year you could make an argument that Rodgers didn't deserve the MVP. And I kind of make the argument, too, when I think about the MVP, which doesn't really matter. If I took this cat out of the system, can this team still function? Kansas City, I don't think they can function without Mahomes because he's searching. I think with the way Philadelphia's built, it's kind of almost in the way they were built in 2017. They could have a backup quarterback. Like, could Gardner Minshew come in there and maybe, be functional for a little bit? I think yes, but
so hold on. Yeah, to your point, if you look at who's more technically the most valuable, Mahomes hands down. It's not even close.
Right.
He's the most valuable player in the league year in and year out. But it's like NBA, right? LeBron is the most valuable player to basically any team he plays on, but it's a statistical for 1 year. You look at like the what they did that season and look at their team record as well. Like, what is their team record? And that's usually how it comes in. But I understand your argument completely. And yeah, Mahomes is the best player in the league.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Yeah. What's up, Big Blue in the Bronx? Shout out to you, brother. How you doing, man? Good to see you again. Sorry we had to tie you guys, but hopefully we're coming for blood. Go
Next
check
time
out.
we beat you.
Yes,
It'd be much better.
Yes, I hope so, because I'm going to be up there in the elements and everything, and I'm not going to like it like the weather. But if we can win, whoop-de-dee, whoop-de-doo. People say, this game's a must-win. They're all, in my opinion, and damn it, I listen to too much of Doc Walker and talk to Doc Walker too much sometimes. Everyone's a must-win for me. Every game is a must-win. Down the stretch.
Really upset me.
Oh, you did?
He called Andrew Norwell, Trey Turner, and Tyler Larson the big three. He said Trey Turner was the MVP. And he's been so important to this team. And he called those three my least favorite three on the team. He called them the big three. I was quite upset at that, Walker.
Well, hey, Eric, look, this old, the old OG, those OGs, you can't teach them new tricks. But shout out to Doc Walker. But Tim, this has been fun, man. I'm glad we were able to get this rocking and rolling. I know you will be. You do your film review. When are you doing your film? Oh, you did it last week, didn't you?
Well, I'm not doing it this week. We didn't have a game.
Yeah.
So we normally do it on Tuesday nights.
Yeah.
So
I'm
not rushing you out if you thought I had to do that. I don't know.
No. You're not rushing me out.
Yeah.
No.
And,
I had you. I got us at an hour and a half, so I was like, and let you enjoy your night off. So
whatever. It's up to you if you had more, if you want to. But I understand also if you have stuff. But anyway, I'm not doing a film review this week because there was no game. But yeah, normally I do it on Tuesdays. We won't be doing it next Tuesday because I'll be on a cruise, and I'm trying to find a way.
You can do it on the ship.
Oh, my wife would absolutely. She gave me okay to try to figure out the Sunday night, but she's like, "No, you said you would miss these games. Like you said that you would be on this cruise with me and my." It's like, okay. I did. I did say that.
Are you missing the San Francisco game too?
Yeah, that San Francisco game's it's out. It's not even Christmas Eve. I'm out. Yeah, I got
the
put
streak.
in my place.
The streak has ended. The streak will end on Christmas Eve.
I'm trying to find it for. I'm trying. Like, I have to figure it out. I'm trying to reach out to some people, but
yeah,
everybody's going to the game, which is fun. That's awesome. Yeah. But everybody's going to the game. Makes it tough.
Apparently, I'm riding with my cousin, and we're going to be up there. Their tailgate opens up at 3. That game's not till 8.
Are you getting there at 3?
Yeah, I think that's what time we probably get up there about 3 or 4. Boy, howdy! Woo! At Mary Litmus at FedEx Field.
Mary Litmus. There you go.
Mary Litmus. The libations and all this good stuff and the food and.
You partaking? You going in?
Oh well,
What's your drink of choice?
A gentleman never tells, a gentleman never asks, Tim. That's it. That's it. Oh, man. It'll be probably too cold out there to be drinking like that. But, no, I'm looking forward to it. I was there week 1 against Jacksonville, so see how that's kind of changed up since then. And hopefully we go out there, get a victory. It's a very winnable game. Mm-hmm. But, it kind of disappointed. Hey, I don't have anything. I do have another thing for you. Mm-hmm. I feel like the Giants are operating in fear. I think last week they operated in fear. They didn't run Saquon, and because they said, "Oh, his neck," but he's going to be ready for Washington. Mm-hmm. To me, that one, I think that's insulting to Philadelphia. 2, I think that's disrespectful to us because Philadelphia wants your best. They want you to swing, and there is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow, like they said in Rocky, right? That's what Creed told them. And then you look at on the other side with us, it's like, oh, Well, you think you're gonna run all over us? So that's what you were just saving up the miles on your thoroughbred right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and if Washington, you don't get up for this game, there's something wrong with you. And like to not hit that bastard in the mouth each and every time he touches the ball, there's something there. Because there, to me, that was fear of the Eagles, but disrespect to us. I love it, but it just I don't know. What do you think about that?
So disrespect to us because they think, oh, next week's a winnable game. This week wasn't a winnable game,
Right.
so we're just gonna take the week off. We really need to win we need to win the next one, which is much more winnable. I see your point, and I thinking about it more, I agree. Yeah, I guess it would be disrespecting us. They think we are the easier opponent out of the two. I think most would agree, but
yeah.
And hey, beat us.
Outlast the bastards. That's right, Bruce. OLTB. That's what we say on here. Outlast the bastards. Yes, sir. And that's what you do. That running game. I don't want Scott Turner to get starstruck at home. I felt like last year, Seattle primetime game at home. He got in his head. He was thinking like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna start. We're gonna drop Taylor back. We're not gonna run the ball. All this good stuff, and it almost proved to be disastrous, right? Also, that was when J.D. McKissic, which those neck injuries aren't, those aren't anything to play with, because, like I said, J.D. McKissic, look what happened to him. And some folks think that might be lingering while he's on IR this year. So,
yeah, he may retire.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. That's probably why he knew he wasn't going to pass physical up in Buffalo. That's probably why he came back here. Right. He's like, yeah, we're not going to pass it, so we'll just come back to Washington and have a good old time.
That's an interesting argument. Yeah.
Yeah, and but Tim, I appreciate you, brother. I know you be on Thursday Night Football. Tell the folks, because everybody knows where you're at, but I mean, for somebody who is destitute, tell them where they can find you, please.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube, The Tim's Sports Talk. Tomorrow night we'll have Skins in the Game with me and my dad, JW. We'll have that show at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. And then, of course, the play-by-play on Thursday. And then you won't see me for a week and a half or so unless I can get live for the Giants game. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know what my connection will be like on the cruise. I'm trying to figure out the entire situation. But then we will be back for the last 2 weeks. And we'll hit the into the season hard and hopefully beyond on that one as well.
Yes, sir. Hey, let's go, y'all. Hey, but I appreciate y'all. I will be live from FedEx Field. Last time we did it, I did it during halftime. Hopefully I'll do it during the pregame a little bit and then at halftime as well. Hopefully we'll find some of our favorite friends out there. I know Tony said he's going to be out there.
Jairus, I think's going.
Who is?
I think Jairus.
Jairus is going. So we're gonna try to find. We're gonna try to find all them brothers out there. Rio and company. They'll be Jalen and company. They'll all be out there. So we're gonna try to get all these people up in here, and we're gonna. I will be in section 106. I will be in the corner of the end zone where we come out on the tunnel. So yes, we keep that same damn energy. And I will do my annual ritual of yelling at Carl Banks and Bob Papa, because I'll tell you a fun story before I let you go. You know where I got my seats at? You know why I get my seats where I get them at in 106? Because when you walk in, right above you is the visiting radio booth. Corey likes to heckle, boys and girls. Corey's a jackass, boys and girls. I had a fun time with Carl Banks last year. Look forward to seeing him again this week.
Only you would know where that is,
dude. I told you, like I know look, I'm crazy. Like, we know this stuff. That's where I want it. Like, that's why I picked my seats. I said I want to walk right down there. And like the dude from Jacksonville was scared. Their play-by-play dude was like, I call Tony Baselli illegitimate Hall of Famer. So
that is hilarious,
dude. I like
on the opposing team's commentators.
I might have to record that video. So I might have to record it. I'll be like, Carl. I told Carl Banks because he had to clear.
How do you not record this every week? How is this not a what do you call them? What is the things that people do? The when you recap what you just did. Oh my gosh, what does Rio put out? And like vlogs, yeah. Why don't we have a Corey vlog of
because it would have to be heavily edited. There would be a lot of swearing. Not like sitting here, I can control myself, but I'm like an atmosphere whore. So like I get that energy from the atmosphere, and it's just not good.
Dude,
and it would be like
top-notch content. Why in the world is that not on your channel? No wonder.
Bruh. Can't do it, man.
No wonder you haven't hit 100K subscribers yet. You're not giving us the good stuff.
Hey, man, I can't give you the good. Hey, Dan, I can't give you the good bits. I'm sorry, I can't give you the good bits on that. But maybe I should.
There's no maybe here. This is top notch. You went as far to get those seats for this reason. You have the channel. Why is this not on your channel every Tuesday afternoon?
Tim's got a point. Corey vlog. Bleep this. Yeah, you bleep. You dirty bleeping bleeper bleeper. Bleep. Bleep. It's like
you sound like Roadrunner.
Yeah, I want to be able to monetize this because what is you can't cuss like you really can't use those expletive words like in the first 10 minutes or something.
Who cares about the monetization there? It's all about adding subscriber, okay? Yeah, adding subscribers, adding to the base, adding to the community. You know, there's an interesting argument, and this is a whole other thing, but I don't know if you want to go down. But of like, should people have behind a paywall content?
You brought this up earlier. I don't think so. No.
I think it's a bad idea. Not because I'm like, why would I pay for this? No. I mean, I'm sure some people will, but it hurts your what's the oh my gosh, I'm just terrible with English today. But it hurts the ability to find you, for people to find you.
Yeah.
And you put out great content behind a paywall, and yes, people pay for it. That's cool. But that content could bring in more viewers, and then you can make more money in the long run instead of slowing your growth and add into your growth. People get free content. They like that, and people appreciate you more and blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. And have people donate to you just because they appreciate you instead of trying to force them to. I don't know. That's a whole different argument. But
no, I agree with you. Yeah, I don't like. I don't get the. I never understood paywalls to begin with. I never got them with like newspapers and stuff. I still refuse to read newspapers that that do paywalls. For some reason, the only reason why I have the Washington Post is because they put out good Washington content. But other than that, I'm not. I don't believe in the paywalls. But I like how you snuck that in there though. So that's it. No, but I agree with you. I don't see how in the ham sandwich anybody could do that because you in a way you are hurting your brand, and that is a argument and a conversation. Thanks a lot. Net neutrality. Go talk to those people about that because that's what that's screwed us up.
No hate to anybody. You guys. To basically not even be beating around the bush. This was my comments on Louis T's. Situation, and I have no ill will towards Louis T. Louis T runs a great channel, and he knows what he's doing and everything like that. But he's been doing this 10 years, and he's around like 22,000 subscribers right now. Yeah. I feel like he puts out tremendous content, and I think if he did a little bit different, he could probably be at 50 to 100K by now in many circumstances. But he makes a living off of this, I believe, and he does a great job. So. I definitely respect Louis T.
And to be honest with you, too, if you've got, like you've got almost 5,000 subscribers. I got 3,100 subscribers. I don't think I like growing. I love growing. I love my community. And you always want to get bigger, but you got your base of your people who are always coming in here. And I think that's the sense of community that we try to create, that we all try to create, right? Is like, you've got the Discord chat, right? That sometimes I'll just come in there and try to aggravate Yuki for sometimes, and then
Yep.
and when one of the few times I can check Roger, I do it, but so
the community is awesome.
yeah,
And
I
it's
think,
great.
but that's what I think that's what keeps us going. And I don't ever and I'm not gonna mention names because I will forget somebody in a whole, I'll mention people throughout the week. I'm just like, oh, like Don Glover was in here. I said, I've never forgotten Heineke Hope. That's all he does.
Yep.
And
I
I just remembered it.
sure.
Yeah. So it's cool. It's the same thing when we call into the radio station 980. Like, that is the dumbest. Dumb, I mean, like, just cool. It's people followed me because they're like, dude, I heard you call in Travis Thompson. You're hilarious. You don't know what you're talking about, but you are hilarious. I'm going to follow you. I said, yeah, well, it should be out on YouTube. I really don't know what I'm talking about over there. But no, in all seriousness, it's just like, it's like, wow. I found a dude. We went to the same college. He went like 15 years before me. He said, I heard you mention this. You mentioned this on the radio, right? He said, how do you know about it? I said, well, I actually worked there and I went there. He's like, I was a basketball player there. I live in such and such in Northern Virginia. I was like, shut up. And I knew one of the local high school coaches there. I said, you know who this guy is? He said, yeah, that's such and such. I was like,
yeah.
But it's the community. I love this community. I love our community. I love our community content creators. I love our people that I didn't even say subscribe. Our people in the chat, they're awesome, and it's gold, and they're gold, and that's what kind of keeps us going. They're great pick me up and great support staff. So that's a blessing, man. It really is that we get to come in here and be looked at as pseudo experts in the craft. So it's cool. But yeah, man. Awesome. But get a little tear out there. But now, bro, Tim, I appreciate you, man. We cannot let these lapses go through without us collabing a little bit more. Because you do some great things, man, and one of the sharpest minds, one of the wittiest minds in our community. So if y'all haven't checked out Tim, please subscribe to Tim. You will have enjoyment, and nobody does it better than Tim over there. Every football game you can imagine, he is doing his radio style play-by-play, and it's much needed. Just turn down the TV and listen to Tim. Or you can listen to me sometimes too, because I do it too.
Hey, Corey was doing it before me. So
look, bro, I was doing it. You knocked it out, damn. I was hitting singles. You're hitting triples and home runs, and I'm so proud of you, bro. But tail end, dang, I'm just getting off. All right, you can rewind to Doug Jones. Don't worry, but it'll be up momentarily. I'll see y'all FedEx Field. I'll bring y'all along. I'll have some. I may do some shorts at FedEx Field. Got to charge up the battery pack and everything. Tim will be on the Love Boat. So have fun, brothers. Stay safe. Eat a lot of food. Drink a lot of drink if you can. And be safe. And we'll see you just in time for the Cleveland Browns. Right?
Yep. I'll be back for the
New Year's
game and the Dallas game. Yep.
No. So we'll see you then. But till next time, y'all. For Tim. Sanchez 405, we keep the same damn energy. It's a party push. We outlast the bastards together. And till next time, love, peace, and hell. And Tim? Yeah, somebody get my damn theme music. Almost. There we go. Now we're good. No, not yet. Now we're good.